As the world encounters many environmental problems, including those brought about by current farming conditions, who would have thought that researchers would look towards growing crops in city skyscrapers? Yes, this solution is known as vertical farming.
With a current population worldwide about 6.8 billion people, land in size to South America is used to grow food and raise livestock. It is projected that by 2050, 2.1 billion acres of land, equaling that of Brazil, will be needed to support an estimated population of 9.5 billion people. This land simply does not exist, and thus our farming practices must be changed. Throughout the United States' existence, outdoor farming has been commonplace. However, there are flaws that have been discovered, affecting Americans and others across the world. Agriculture uses 70% of the world's available freshwater for irrigation, which does not allow for usable drinking water. Fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides, and silt contaminate this water, resulting in algae growth in streams affecting the creatures that live there. Droughts and floods may ruin entire harvests, wasting much produce. Farming requires 20% of all the gasoline and diesel fuel consumed by the United States. As the price of fuel increases, so does the price of food, affecting consumers. With the transfer of food from distant rural farms, unnecessary spoilage occurs. In countries with lower restrictions on food, illnesses become prevalent, accounting for a great number of deaths worldwide.
In vertical farms, crops may be grown within high-rise urban buildings under intensely controlled conditions. Food from such farms may be produced year-round, but how are harvest fields maximized? Ideal growing and ripening conditions are provided to varying crops at each floor of these buildings. To suffice the need for water and energy, community wastewater is recycled to provide irrigation water, and the remaining solid waste, as well as inedible plant material, is incinerated to create steam that turns turbines, generating electricity for the vertical farms. This reuse of materials is not available to current outdoor farms.
There are three main techniques that make indoor farming possible. They allow water to be used much more efficiently than water is used in common outdoor farming now. Hydroponics, created by agronomist William F. Gabric, works by holding plants in place with their roots in troughs filled with water and dissolved nutrients. Hydroponics is a good technique to use for vegetables and berries. In aeroponics, created by K.T. Hubick, plants are suspended in air that is filled with water vapors and nutrients the plant needs. It is especially beneficial for root plants. Drip irrigation, a technique already being used successfully, involves the plants being put in troughs of soil or vermiculite and having a small tube feed right into the plant's stem base. This tube carries the exact amount of nutrient-filled water that the plant needs from a tank. All three of these techniques get rid of the huge amounts of water used for traditional farming.
But where to begin with vertical farming? The first place to start would be to get the government and universities to support these projects. They can supply grants to help fund the projects, as well as send researchers, scientists, and engineers to help with production. There is also the matter of finding an area suitable for farming. In every city, there are numerous abandoned lots and buildings that are otherwise useless. The city could use these areas to build vertical farms. Before trying to build a full-scale vertical farm, cities should try to build test farms on top of apartment buildings and hospitals. And if these tests prove successful, they can begin building full-scale vertical farms.
With so many great benefits, you should support vertical farming. Dixon Despommier is the president of the Vertical Farm Project, which functions as a clearinghouse for development work. Visit www.verticalfarm.com for more info.